Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game Season 2, Episode 68. We are just days removed from the NXT Rival Takeover Special. Tonight, we are in front of 5,616 people in the great state of Washington at the ShoWare Center. Let's get straight into the action. We get clips showing the main event at NXT TakeOver Rival, where the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor, defended their NXT championships against the Revival. We see the Authors of Pain retaining, but at what cost? An injury to Akam has landed the Authors of Pain out for an undisclosed period of time, but per the breaking news before this episode, they will not be stripped of their championships. This situation will be addressed as it continues. So an 87B plus here to start the show on NXT TV this week. As we know now, Akam injured I believe it was his knee or his arm, I forget. Akam got injured at TakeOver Rival, but he's not going to be out too long, so we're going to keep the titles on them and just skip AOP for a TakeOver. This got the crowd hype. No work improvements, but at 87B plus. Also, we get clips showing DIY waiting for their partner at different points of the evening at TakeOver Rival, them not thinking he was going to make it. We see the Elite, Kenny and the Young Bucks being confident, but still a bit wary of who they might have as partners. Finally, he makes it, and he is Sami Zayn. A cheer so loud, it shook NXT to the core. Titus O'Neil with Triple H tonight will have a huge announcement regarding our upcoming pay-per-view special. So yeah, Nick Jackson was fantastic, Matt Jackson looked good, and Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, aka DIY, added Sami Zayn, one of their really good friends, to the stable known as House NXT. Think Taguchi Japan, but a playoff of Game of Thrones. So House NXT, basically the super babyface stable, featuring DIY, Gargano, and featuring DIY, Gargano, Ciampa, and now Sami Zayn. They fought the Elite and defeated them at TakeOver Rival. Next up, we see Tom Phillips, Nigel McGuinness, and Steve Corino welcoming us to NXT. Tom Phillips says that tonight on NXT, we're going to have one hell of a show. The camera stands with them for a while as we fade to ringside as the new #1 contender to the NXT Heavyweight Championship, Brodus Clay, will be in action. And in a decent match, Brodus Clay defeats Tucker Knight in 5:31 with the G-grip. Brodus Clay gets the victory here tonight on NXT. He is improving in performance skills. After the match has ended now, Paul Ellering asks for a microphone as he stands into the ring next to Brodus Clay, the #1 contender to the NXT Heavyweight Championship within the Ellering Alliance. Paul Ellering says that last night at NXT TakeOver Rival, Brodus became the #1 contender to the NXT Heavyweight Championship. He says he outsmarted William Regal by using the championship shot for Brodus, not for one of his authors. Paul goes on to say that at NXT TakeOver War Games, Brodus will bring home the NXT Heavyweight Championship to the Ellering Alliance, and that's all anyone needs to know or worry about. So Paul Ellering improvised well, but he underperformed. Brodus Clay looked good. No scale improvements, 75B minus, so that storyline has advanced. Brodus Clay will be getting his shot very soon at Mr. NXT. Speaking of Mr. NXT, the camera quickly shifts backstage, showing the NXT Heavyweight Champion himself, Mr. NXT, and his gorgeous bride, Mrs. NXT. He looks concerned, and rightfully so. Brodus is a monster. Mrs. NXT is getting better at his gimmick. The camera stands on them for a second. It also says that coming up next, Mr. NXT will be in action against Aleister Black. So 63C. We briefly see Titus O'Neil in the back, and next to him is DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, and of course the returning Sami Zayn, aka House NXT. Then the trio now known as House NXT is talking to Titus when the NXT Women's Champion Bayley walks up and gives Sami a hug. So Bayley, officially, unofficially, will be a member of House NXT soon because, like I said, this is the mega babyface stable here in NXT, and I really like that this. I really like that not to toot my own horn, but I really like the name House NXT, and I like that we're having a super babyface stable to oppose it. 77B. Next, and about that had good wrestling and decent reaction, Mr. NXT defeats Aleister Black in the middle of the ring by pinfall with a high-speed roundhouse kick. Was he mocking Aleister Black's finisher? I'm not sure, but he gets the victory via the Black Mass, I guess you could say. A 75 B- for Mr. NXT. It's an absolutely fantastic match. Oh, getting a phone call right now, people. Let me mute that real quick. 75 B-, Mr. NXT with the victory. A video airs stating that in tonight's main event, we're going to get Sami Zayn of House NXT taking on Nick Jackson of the Elite. So Sami Zayn did not do good off script, but that's okay. The Elite storyline has advanced. 74 B-. I will take it. We see an angry Peyton Royce flagged by Madison Eagles and Billy Kay, a.k.a. the Iconic Trio. The Iconic Trio was on the way to the ring, and they're without gold. If you recall, at NXT TakeOver Rival, while Bayley did successfully defeat Peyton Royce, it was under not the most, I don't want to say disturbing, not disturbing. She beat her, it was clean, but there was controversy. So 60-60 plus, so the Iconic Trio, after Peyton Royce held the championship all year until Bayley returned, 364 days. Now Peyton Royce is back, and she's on a mission. She's very angry that she lost her rematch, and rightfully so. She had a shoulder up. 60-60 plus. And in an extremely short match, Peyton Royce takes out her anger on Aaliyah in 328 by pinfall with a leg sweep DDT. Peyton Royce seemed off her game. They didn't click. That's unfortunate. 73 and 63 for a eye candy match. This was just to break up the show a little bit. No skill improvements. 55 C-. Next, we fade backstage as Rachel Ellering is backstage with Ruby Riott, the woman member of the Ellering Alliance, as she's in the back with Titus O'Neil. Ruby asks Titus what she needs to do to get Ruby a shot at the NXT Women's Championship. Titus tells Rachel that given what happened at TakeOver Rival, we're going to be reevaluating the Iconic Trio's rematch request. We're aware she was pinned, but in the fashion she was, really, if we're being honest, she is deserving of another shot, again referencing the shoulders. Rachel says that this is completely unacceptable, but Titus cuts her off. He says to pay attention to him and Triple H tonight as they make announcements. She may, just like what she hears. So we're hinting at something coming up soon, but Rachel Ellering tonight was told by Titus O'Neil to just pay attention. You might like what you see. 65 C-, but she's doing what the Ellering Alliance does, and that's trying to get their clients or whatever in a position to succeed. And she wants a title shot for Ruby Riott. All right, next up in a decent match, Roddy Strong defeats TJB with a strong hold in 12-10. Phillips and Corino were great. 67 for Roddy, 49 for TJP, and the NXT Junior Heavyweight Champion Roddy Strong defeats TJP in a non-title match. No skill improvements. 61C, though. That is a very strong rating for these two in a technical-based match. All right, after, we quickly see Titus O'Neil and Triple H discussing things with paperwork and such, getting ready to come to the ring. They have a huge announcement later tonight regarding TakeOver. So, we hinted at it earlier. We hinted at it 2 segments ago. Now we're hinting at it again. They have a big announcement coming up, 73 B-. All right, next up, in an extremely short match, Becky Lynch defeats Mandy Rose in 4:51 via submission. Mandy was off her game. They have great chemistry, which is great. It's 90 for Becky, 74 for Mandy. This was, again, an eye candy match to give the crowd a little bit of a breather. I'm thinking about taking NXT to a TV 14, a little more counterculture, a little more Attitude Era-ish. I'm not talking about, maybe bra and panties matches, but probably not bra and panty matches. We're not doing that. But a little more sex appeal, I guess you could say. 72 B- for these two ladies in the ring tonight, with Becky Lynch getting the win with a disarmer. All right, next we see Triple H walking to the ring out to his music with Titus O'Neil. As temporary GM, Titus O'Neil is with him. The fans boo and cheer collectively. Triple H says that before his TakeOver announcement that next week on NXT, to settle what happened once and for all, we're going to see Tyler Bate take on the man who was robbed at NXT TakeOver, Pete Dunne, for the NXT UK Championship inside of a steel cage. No shenanigans. The fans cheer. This, of course, is referencing William Regal buying a ticket to NXT TakeOver Rival, distracting Pete Dunne from the crowd and allowing the Tyler Driver 97 to get the victory, and the pinfall over Pete Dunne to get the title back on Tyler Bate. Of course, Triple H and William Regal had that big match at the season 1 finale of Legacy, which led to that. You can go back and watch that on my channel. Triple H looks to Titus, who nods. Triple H says now in the ring that in 5 weeks we will present to you at NXT TakeOver War Games. Yes, that War Games. Men, a double cage structure where everything else is on the line. Everything is on the line. NXT has been running on hot tempered as of late, and DIY, or now House NXT as they're called with Sammy, will take on the Elite. We will reveal additional details as we move forward to Triple H, but we are going to lock the Elite. We are going to lock House NXT inside of a 2-ring double-sided cage, and they're going to fight it out War Game style. And of course, you can look up the rules for War Games, but 2 start, people enter, blah, blah, blah. The fans cheer. Triple H also says that at NXT TakeOver War Games, given the deep women's division, a secondary women's championship will be added. Details to be revealed and progress also. So that's what we were talking about, what Titus was telling Ruby Riott and Rachel Ellering to stay on. We're going to be getting a second title, guys, for the women's division. We have a ton of women wrestlers. We have a ton coming up. They've developed so well in our developmental brand, WWE NXT UK, and it's just gonna be great. We have room for another title, so we're gonna bring another title. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do 2 women's championships, but that's what we're gonna do. So this angle got the crowd hotter. Triple H is improvising for well through a segment. 83B+. All right, next up we see Sami Zayn with DIY, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano, aka House NXT, getting ready for Sami's first NXT TV match in 2 years. Sami Zayn coming up next to take on Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. A video airs now saying that next week Dash and Dawson, a.k.a. The Revival, will be here, and they will be here and in action next week. Now, I could have, just back to the previous segment, went with, Sammy and Kenny, as they're the 2 single members of their stables, but I didn't want to blow off that match just quite yet, so we're going to go with Sammy versus Nick. Coming up right now. Hopefully it's a 75. Ooh, an 81. Excellent. Actually, that's fantastic, and a superb match. Sami Zayn defeats Nick Jackson at 13-31 by pinfall with a brain buster. 76 for Zayn, 74 for Nikki. What a match. No skill improvements, though, which is unfortunate. But at 81B and 81B, Sami Zayn getting the victory here tonight over 1/2 of the Young Bucks, 1/3 of the Elite, Nick Jackson. After the match, Matt and Kenny jump into the ring, followed by the rest of House NXT, a.k.a. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, DIY. The team is beginning to throw punches and kicks all over the place as the fans are chanting war, 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 talking and referencing the huge match that was just made by Triple H and Titus O'Neil for NXT TakeOver War Games in just under 5 weeks. The show will fade to black, guys, with the bodies being thrown all over the place and control having been completely lost. A 77 on top of an 81. What an absolutely fantastic way to end NXT this week, and a huge, massive, unbelievable match where you are going to see House NXT, DIY, and Sami Zayn take on the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega in a double-sided, or I guess double-structured, 2-ringed War Games type match. Will it just be these 3? I don't know. We'll see. 77B, though. Hopefully got 80 rating here. 88, 80, 81. Absolutely fantastic. This might be our best rating we've got yet on NXT The Game 16 series. But yeah, this was NXT The Game Season 2, Episode 68. Thanks for watching, everyone. And we'll be back in a couple days with the next edition, which I believe will be the Super Juniors. Thanks for watching. Or excuse me, the Mega 12 Juniors. Thanks for watching. Have a glorious evening.